Your sneak peek at Double Masters 2022. So they're doing another Double Masters, which is really cool. Dominaria United, which is the next full set, and then Beyond. So we'll get into that real fast. Double Masters, Dominaria United. I haven't looked at a ton of this information, so Magic the Gathering Universes Beyond Warhammer 40k collaboration. So this is really interesting because there's a lot of crossover. You know, I talk to or ingest a handful of content creators' work, and almost all of them, or at least half of them, all play 40k or some sort of Warhammer on the side as like a secondary hobby, if you will. So this is a really fun little crossover. I know that like my brother's really interested in it, and I'm kind of keen on seeing what comes of it, because there's some neat stuff that they can do in this universe. Hold on, I'm just gonna turn my music down a touch. There we go. On August 12th, universes will collide. Oh, so then we get a release date. Magic the Gathering Universes Beyond Warhammer 40k collaboration. This collaboration between two iconic tabletop titans. A little presumptuous to call yourself a tabletop titan. Warhammer 40k and Magic the Gathering includes the release of 4 commander decks and 3 secret lair drops. Oh. I saw the commander decks yesterday, and I thought for sure there was going to be more announced, because it seems like a weird selection. So we'll get to that in a second. Both releases bring the grim dark lore, iconic art, and warring factions of the Warhammer 40,000 universe into Magic's multiverse. Get excited for popular new commanders, the never before seen special surge foil, and beautiful art. So Wizards last year with the Stranger Things stuff said anything they do in the universes beyond will most likely get a Magic version. So that's why this stuff takes a really long time to kind of put together, because they have to design a standard, the separate IP version and then the Magic version. I don't believe they do it at the same time. I think they design the like Warhammer cards, and then they jump over, once those are released, they jump over and try to design the normal Magic version. Because the Stranger Things ones just came out with New Capenna, and they're pretty cool for the most part. Check out artwork details and of course new cards from the upcoming collaboration now. Alright, let's look at that. First look at Magic the Gathering's Universes Beyond Warhammer 40k collaboration. August 12th, blah blah blah, we just read that. Command a new battlefield in the far future's endless war. Grab your friends and step into the helm of Warhammer 40,000's legendary characters. This collaboration aims to stay as authentic to Warhammer 40k factions and strategies as possible. So whether fielding a squad of Imperium's forces, resurrecting fallen Necrons, amassing a swarm of Tyranids, or harnessing the chaotic power of the Warp, fans should delight in seeing iconic characters and strategies. I don't know enough about modern Warhammer 40k. To be honest, I didn't know a lot about it back when I was a kid and was playing it, or at least interested in it. We never really played it. So all of that is gibberish and means almost nothing to me, but seems cool. If you're new to the Warhammer 40k, the world of Warhammer 40k, this is a great opportunity to get a taste of the deep lore and amazing stories that make up the Warhammer 40k universe, as well as build out your commander deck with new commanders and brand new artwork. That's the nice thing about Commander being like a fan-made format, that Wizards can just fuck with it and they don't care. They can do whatever they want. They can print cards that would be so bullshit and illegal in standard. Magic the Gathering unit. This is the Universes Beyond logo. 40k. I'm just gonna save these. Well, you can't see any of this. That's a hype. That's very handy. So this is the set logo, which is cool. It's kind of like the Warhammer logo with a skull on it. I guess skulls and shit. Oh my god, those don't get any bigger. Okay. So here are the 4 commander decks. We've got a red, blue, green Tyrannid Swarm. These guys look like gross creatures, aliens. We've got a black, blue, white Forces of the Imperium. These guys look kind of steampunky. Interesting. We've got mono black Necron Dynasties. These guys look like animatrons, robots. And then we've got some aggro looking people in black, blue, red. The Ruinous Powers. I think this is the only one of the commanders that they've actually revealed so far. Hopefully the full card is below. The other commanders they haven't actually shown yet, but it's interesting to note that they're doing collector's editions for this. This is the first time they've ever done this, and it's really cool. So the one on the left is just the normal one, this guy over here, and the one on the right is the collector's one. It says big collectors. The interesting thing about the collector's edition is everything is foiled and pimped out. So this is the flashy, the visually flashy version of all of these cards. And I'm assuming that includes the reprints and the traditional Magic cards, because not everything in these decks are going to be Warhammer cards, I don't think. The collaboration will consist of 4 ready-to-play pre-constructed 100-card Commander decks and 3 secret layer drops. If you're new to Magic, Commander is the same. Format can be found here. If we're playing a different format, individual cards from the collaboration will be legal in Commander, Legacy, and Vintage. Oh, I didn't realize that Universes Beyond cards would be legal in normal Magic formats. Interesting. Here's a more detailed breakdown of everything that's part of the collaboration. 4 commander decks that also come in collector's editions. Collector's editions come fully foiled with never before seen special surge foil and has the same card content, images below. Oh, exciting. So the 3 secret layers that they're doing are Warhammer 40k Orcs, which I'm assuming are just the green beefy boys. Age of Sigmar, which I believe is their fantasy realm. And then Blood Bowl, which is the hilariously brutal and very violent football game, American football. Magic the Gathering Universes Beyond Warhammer 40k collaboration key dates. Previews begin July 26th. We got a couple months. Secret Layer drops August 12th to 22nd. And then worldwide release is August 12th. Launch weekend event. This is interesting because they don't normally do launch events for crossovers. Besides the D&D one last summer, that was what seems like a one-shot. They replaced the core set 2021 with a Dungeons and Dragons crossover, which is interesting. So I'm excited to see, maybe they have something special planned for this launch weekend. Considering the fact that it's just Commander products, I'm assuming it's going to be like a Command Fest. they did announce that they want to do more command fests, so first previews, blah blah blah. This was the announcement show yesterday. Okay, so here's so tiny. Why are you so tiny? Are you so tiny? On now. Roll. Okay. The crop on my web browser. So this is the commander for the Atrocities deck. Well, I can't remember what it was called. The Ruinous Powers. Abaddon the Despoiler. Despoiler? So he unspoils something? Abaddon the Despoiler. Abaddon Warhammer. Abaddon. Abaddon, also known as Abaddon the Despoiler, was once named Ezekiel Abaddon, is a war master of chaos, a chaos lord, and the greatest champion of chaos undivided in the galaxy. It's just a whole bunch of gibberish gobbledygook. Master of the Black Legion. Well, he's a real. Look at all that fucking lore. Jesus. Warhammer goes hard. God, these are all like a short story each. That's just one dude. Okay. I mean, now I'm curious to see if this is a real word. A spoiler. Someone who takes spoils. Oh, I get it. Not spoil as in like rotten. Spoil as in like treasures. Makes sense. He's a plunderer. He's a space pirate boy. Chaos pirate. Okay, so Abaddon the Despoiler is 2, a blue, a black, and a red. So 2 mana and then maestros. I don't know what the other shards are called. For a 5/5 legendary creature, Astartes warrior. He's a mythic. He has trample, and he has Mark of Chaos Ascendant. During your turn, spells you cast from your hand with mana value X or less have Cascade, where X is the total amount of life your opponents have lost this turn. Huh. So if you hit your opponent for 1, then cards in your hand that have mana value 1 have Cascade. Interesting. The flavor text says, under his rule, there is but one creed. Chaos shall reign. I don't know why I looked over there. I looked at myself on Streamlabs. That's what I was doing. Okay. A little bit of insight on them. Okay, we got more cards. Okay. Blood for the Blood God. Let me zoom back in here. Blood for the Blood God! Exclamation point. Oh man, we don't see that very often. If ever? Have they ever put an exclamation point on a magic name that's not an unset? It's 8, a black, black, red. For an instant. This spell costs 1 colorless less. to cast for each creature that died this turn. Discard your hand, draw 8 cards. Blood for the Blood God deals 8 damage to each opponent. Exile blood for the Blood God. Wow. So if you like both of your, if you and your opponent both have like 4 creatures on board, and you wrath, board wipe, depopulate, whatever you're using these days, farewell. If 8 creatures die, then this costs black, black, red, and you get a whole new 8 cards, and your opponent loses 8 life. And this is Commander, so all 3 of your opponents lose 8 life. Actually, this is Commander. Holy shit. My brain does not think in Commander when it comes to Magic. My brain thinks on one-on-one. That's pretty crazy. So it's a lot easier to hit that 8 mark. Because all you have to do is wrath with every person has 2 creatures on board. And then you can deal 8 damage to all of your opponents and get 8 new cards. That's pretty cool. Next up we have Vanguard Suppressor. 3 and a blue for a 3/2 creature, Astartes Warrior. I need to ask a Warhammer person if that correctly. Astartes. Click the wrong button. My bad. Bad. Oh, close. Okay. Well, hopefully someone will tell me eventually. You pronounce that Astartes. So it's 3 and a blue for a 3/2 Astartes Warrior with Squad 2. This is a new ability. I mean, it's not a new function, just a new name for it. Squad 2. As an additional cost to cast this spell, you may pay 2 any number of times. When this creature enters the battlefield, create that many tokens that are copies of it. You pay 4 to get him out, and then you can pay 8 mana to get 4 copies of him. Oh, I guess because like when you play Warhammer, you make a little army or squad. Maybe that's the like rules term for it. That's interesting. That's fun, actually. So it's basically kicker, but for copies. You may pay 2 as any number of times. So this is kind of like that Crimson Vow, not Crimson Vow, Midnight Hunt cycle with all the adversaries where you can pay a kicker, create a bunch of tokens, or put a bunch of 1/1 counters somewhere. So this like builds your little army of vanguards. So yeah, pay 4 mana for him, and then say you pay 4 mana. Say you have 8 mana total. And you get 3 3/2s on the board. And they're all flying. Damn. Pressing fire. Whenever Vanguard Suppressor deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. That's pretty. A flyer that draws cards on combat damage is pretty fucking good. That's pretty good. You likey dat. What we got here? Fabricate. 2 and a blue for, oh, like it's kind of like a creepy pregnant belly thing going on. 2 and a blue for a sorcery. Search your library for an artifact card. Reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Oh shit. We've got a artifact tutor card. I guess these guys are the steampunky boys. I already forgot what they were called. Imperium? Yeah. Seemed pretty cool. Seems like a good card. I think that's it. The promo card Fabricate won't appear in Commander decks, but you can get your hands on it if you go to your local game store on launch day. This exciting card features Belisarius Cawl, one of the most powerful members of the Imperium and fabricator of some of Warhammer 40k's most legendary artifacts. Finally, did our mention of new, never-before-seen Surge foils grab your interest? We'll have pictures to share closer to release. I'm curious if the Surge foil is kind of like the... they're doing a special treatment on the... Double Masters legendaries, borderless cards. Okay, well, what do I think of Universes Beyond Warhammer 40k? I think it's pretty rad. I think when you have so much product and so much space to play like Magic the Gathering does, it's really fun to bring in those other franchises, especially franchises that kind of share the same fan base, same hobby realm as you do. Like, there's a lot of crossover between people who play Magic and people who play Warhammer, and I think kind of like the D&D set last summer, this kind of bridges the gap and gives an excuse for both parties to maybe try the other one for a moment, even if it's not forever, like just a little taste. It also invites these two kind of cliques of nerds to mingle, which would be really cool. I think that there's lots of room to like meet friends and find new cool people to hang out with, and sometimes you have to go outside of your main hobby in order to do so, and I think stuff like this kind of just invites you to try out new things. Yeah. Anyway, the previews start in July, so we'll have to wait a little bit longer to see more, I'm assuming. Yeah. I'm just gonna quickly look at Twitter to make sure I didn't miss anything. There's a bunch going on Twitter yesterday, so they might not have put it all in these articles. Ba, 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 ba. Okay, so this is what the cards look like. Like Magic cards. Some cool foiling. Yep, that looks like about it. So it's a little weird that, you know, we've got a tricolor deck, a monocolor deck, and then two more. So we have 3 tricolor decks and 1 monocolor deck. I just feel like unless black is just like extremely overpowered, the other 3 decks are going to be more electric, more interesting. You've got access to 3 different colors worth of cards. I just think it's strange to do a set of 4 and have one of them be different. Maybe there's something in the Warhammer lore that just says like, fuck you, you can only have black mana. We'll have to wait and see. July, we get more previews in July. I'm excited for it. I know some people are critical about the Universes Beyond. As long as they keep putting the same amount of time and effort into real, quote-unquote, real Magic products, then I don't care how much extra stuff they do. If it wasn't for the Dungeons & Dragons set last summer, I don't know if I would have really gotten back into it this badly. This greatly. No, it's bad. It's bad. I'm down bad. yeah, I feel like I owe one of my favorite hobbies to the fact that they did a crossover with something I was more familiar with. Not that I had never played Magic before. It was just the crossover Dungeons and Dragons. There were so many little things, little nods, and I'm also worried that because this Warhammer set isn't an actual set, that they won't be as intricate with the crossover, the use cases, the references, the rare characters. I'm I'm eager to see more because I think that there's a lot of promise that this could be good, and there's a lot of ways they could screw it up. And I can totally see them not putting as much effort into it because it's just a commander that a set of 4 commander decks and some secret layers. So I would get excited if you're a Magic player and you like 40k. I would get excited if you're a 40k player and you want to play Commander. I wouldn't get too excited if you're a diehard and you want a deep, intricate mix of the two, like we got with Dungeons and Dragons. That's my 2 cents. I'm going to take a 5-second break and grab a snack, and I will be right back, and we'll jump into the Double Masters review. I don't know if there's much to see, but we'll take a look.